Welcome to How to Print Money, where we make trading and investing easy. My name is Quinta. I'm a professional futures trader, and I specialize in the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the Dow. And today we're going to look at all three of those indices, see how they moved, and look at how you should get in and out of these indices. All right, now first we're going to look at the Dow. The Dow moved amazing today. And I usually get in on the 2-minute. We're going to look at the Dow before news. So you guys that don't know about news, you don't want to get in when there's news and it's red like this. Anything that's red, you don't want to get in before. But the news that was red today in the US was Fed Chair Powell. So technically you don't want to get in around news because you can get faked out, which I'm going to show you right now. And at 10 o'clock, it was the main job news and manufacturing. You definitely don't want to get in before that. Because if you're in a trade before news and you're still in there, you're going to get stopped out for the most part. But I'm going to show you how the Dow moved before Fed Powell spoke at 9:30 or 9:45. I trade on a 2-minute. So this is the first candle at 9:30, and I move it along a little bit. So what I trade with is the 9 EMA. The 9 EMA is the average of the last 9 days, but it focuses more on the latter part. You guys that are scalping, you want to use the EMA. You don't want to use the average of all 9 days. You want to see what's happening the latter part of those days. That's why you should use the EMA. All right, so the market is bullish. As you can see right here, the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 5, they're all bullish. So that means that they're all in agreement, which gives you a strong indication to get into a buy. All right. So we're going to get into a buy right here. And I have an automatic stop. My stop is right here at 44,391. You don't have to be perfect, but and put it right there. And we're going to adjust so we can see our take profit. And we also can put up the indicator to let us know if we can go 2 for 1 or 3 for 1 or 1 for 1. The market is saying to go for a 2 for 1 or 3 for 1. And we're gonna target right here at my level. And we're putting up almost $20. We're targeting $46. That's over 2 to 1, which is 200% of what you put up. To make it easier, round it off to $20. And you're targeting over $40. You're getting over 200% profit. We're going to press buy. We're going to press play. And we're going to see how the trade turned out before news. Boom. So what I'm doing right now, I'm looking at the 9 and the VWAP. The VWAP is the most important indicator, I believe, because the VWAP, which is the blue line right here, is where most professional buyers buy. So you want to pay attention to that indicator and the 9 also. Those are the two most powerful indicators. All right. And I also use the 48. The 48 is also an important indicator because if this is above, or the 200, which I also use, it should be down here. If this is not aligned like this or similar to this, you should not get into the trade because the market is indecisive. You want to make sure that the market is all aligned before you enter the trade. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward to news. So I'm going to show you guys how it looked during news. This is why you don't get into a trade before news. All right. So this is 9:58. Look at this. You guys that don't know how to read candles, this wick right here is the highest price that it went to, which is 44,540. The lowest price on this candle was 44,455. And the current price, which is right here at the top, is 44,488. That's what it closed at. You don't get into a trade before main news. All right. You wait until the market makes its move. Now, what I'm looking at is the 9. It's already above the VWAP. And the 48 is a line, and the 200 is a line. The 200 should always be at the bottom. It's a slower indicator. The 48 should be in the middle. That's the next slowest indicator. And the 9 right here, the lime, and the blue, which is the VWAP, they should always be at the top. All right. In a buy scenario, if you're selling, is a different setup. It would be the opposite. The 200 would be at the top. We're going to talk about that later. Now I'm going to show you when you should have got in off the 9 right here. This is 10, 10:02, 10:04 candle. What I'm looking for is a strong candle off the 9. All right. This candle right here is called a dragonfly. Think of it as it being, the body being at the top. And dragonfly, if it's at the bottom, it's called a gravestone. I call it a gravestone. If it's something like this, it came up, came down, and it closed right here. So it's more of a gravestone doji. All right. Now right here, this is a good entry. This is a good entry. This is called a Maribosu. Any big candle like this filling up with a huge body like this is a clear entry if there's already bullish candles. All right, so we're gonna enter right here with a buy, and our stop is right here. You put it at 44,530, and we're gonna go for 2 for 1 again. I'm gonna look at my level. All right, sorry about that. All right, so we're gonna go back to where we were before. Dragonfly, Doji, Dragonfly, and the Maribosu. We're gonna put in a buy. And we're gonna go for a little over 2 to 1. And we're gonna press play and look and see how this trade turned out. Boom. All right. So going over how we got in. It's 10 o'clock during news. You want to avoid being in a trade during news. This is a dragonfly. This is a inverse hammer almost, which is pretty much the top being filled up all the way in a candle. A little bit of a wick, which is the skinny part of the candle. This is a doji. There's a small, skinny body in the middle, and there's sticks on both sides. This is another doji, dragonfly, Maribosu, which is the biggest candle there can be. This is our entry, and from 10:12 to 10:30, so 18 minutes to make 2 to 1. Whatever you put up, you doubled your money. $100, $200, you doubled your money in 18 minutes. All right. And we're gonna look over ES really quick. Let's see how this moves. And I'm gonna get you guys out of here. All right. This is news at 10. See how this candle is out of control. It came up here, went way down here, and it closed right here. All right. Now, if you traded the S&P today, it was not as good as the Dow. All right. This is a Maribosu. And a thing that most traders look at, if they use the 9 or the 13 and the 48, you want to make sure that like I was saying before, you want to make sure the 9 is above the 48. And every cross signal usually helps you determine what's going on in the market. Right here, the 9 is below the 48. All right. Right here at this candle, at this doji, right here of this Maribosu, now the 9 is a little below. So it's in the process of crossing up. This next candle is where I got in today. It crossed up the 48. So we're gonna get in for a buy. So I stop right here. All right. And then it's saying to go 2 for 1 and 3 for 1. Sometimes TradingView messes up. So we're gonna start this over. Buy. And we're gonna target 2 for 1 right here. Then we're gonna press play and see what happens. See, so the S&P was not behaving today at all. This is a strong entry right here. Huge Maribosu candle. This is a huge inverted hammer right here. The whole top is pretty much filled up. Pretty small wick. Good entry. It says somebody sold off. and the market came back down. And we're going to look at the NASDAQ really quick. Usually the NASDAQ moves the same as the S&P. All right, so we're just going to go back here. Now, you see from the indicator and you see the chart that the NASDAQ is not aligned at all. The 48 is up here, the 200 is down here, and the 9 is crossing up the VWAP, which is a bullish signal. But the 9, it shouldn't be here when it's aligned. It should be below the 200. All right. And at 200, if it's bullish, it should be at the bottom. It shouldn't be at the top. So that's kind of an indication that you shouldn't enter a trade. And on the time frame chart, the 1 is bearish, even though the 2, 3, and a 5 are bullish. It's not aligned. All right. But this is a Marabosu. And this is a inverted hammer. Same move as the S&P. The 9 cross up the VWAP, which is a bullish signal. We're going to enter a buy. I'm going to pull this up so we can see the target. Place our stop. And in order for us to buy one contract, it's $46. So we're gonna aim for 2 to 1. A little over 2 to 1, $99. And we're gonna see what happens. And the same thing that happened on the S&P. Bullish candle. Another bullish candle. Good entry. And just sold off. All right. So we automatically, if you're doing the right thing, it depends on what you're trading. It's not always what you're doing. Unfortunately, today, whoever traded the S&P and NASDAQ, most likely you didn't make any money if you followed the normal procedure. The Dow moved amazing. So congratulations to whoever traded the Dow. And I'm going to let you guys get out of here. If you guys want any coaching or want any indicators in this video, the link is in the description. God bless you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.